So students, now we will try to find out the value of alternating current. Now alternating current contains two values. One is called its average or mean value, and another is called its RMS value, which is root mean square value. Okay. So let's find out first of all its mean or average value. So you can see the average or mean value of alternating current over a half cycle. Now why over a half cycle, not through full cycle? Now if you can remember, in last video we discussed about the nature, characteristics and equation of alternating current, and there I explained that in alternating current for first half rotation it flows through one direction, that is in positive direction, while for the next half cycle, that is second half cycle or second half rotation of the coil, it flows in opposite direction, magnitude is same. So since first half is in positive, so if it is plus I, then for next it is minus I. We have seen, isn't it, plus I and minus I0. So it means now if we calculate its average value, so plus I minus I divided by 2 equals to 0. So that's why the average value of alternating current over a full cycle means a circle, isn't it? This is called full cycle, isn't it? A complete rotation through which a circle is completed. So it's 0. Since plus and minus, so it's 0. So that's why the average value of alternating current has no existence, no meaning over a complete cycle. So that's why it only exists in case of a half cycle. Okay. So let's find out. So the average or mean value of alternating current is expressed by this symbol, that is I bar or Im. Okay. Now its equation is 1 by T by 2 integration 0 to T by 2, its limit I dt. I is alternating current since it varies with time, so its differentiate integrating factor is dt. Now why T by 2? Now since T is the required time for the complete cycle. This half is T by 2 and next half is T by 2. Since it only exists in case of half cycle, so 1 by T by 2. Now we will put the value of T. Okay, what is T? T is the time period, the required time. We all know since junior classes, the required time for completing one oscillation or one vibration or one cycle. Okay, so now T is equal to 2 pi by omega. We will put phi because omega is equal to 2 pi by T. We already know omega is equal to 2 pi by T. So T is equal to 2 pi by omega. From equation, omega equals to theta by T for a complete oscillation. For a complete cycle, T is the time period, omega is equal to theta by T. Theta is the angular displacement. For a complete cycle, it generates 2 pi angle, pi and pi. So it's 2 pi by T. Clear? Very easy. So now 2 is in the numerator, capital T 2 pi by omega, then integration 2 pi by omega, 2 to cancel, then pi by omega. Then what is I? Then we have already learned that the equation of alternating current is I equals to I0 sin omega t dt. What is I0? Its peak value. Okay. So now I0 is the constant. It is coming out in the, so omega in the denominator, so it will be in the numerator. So omega is 0 by pi. So now integration limit 0 to pi by omega sin omega t dt. Okay. So omega is 0 by pi. Sin theta, integration of sin theta equals to minus cos theta. So minus cos theta, but within t it is omega. So divided, we know. So omega is minus cos omega t, limit 0 to pi by omega. This minus will take out in the, okay, outside. So omega cancel, I 0 by omega. Then upper limit minus lower limit, you know the rules of integration. Okay. So now cos omega. Now here t, the value of pi by omega, we will have to put in the t, since t is the here integrating factor. Clear? Okay. So t. So in case of t, cos omega into, at first pi by omega minus cos 0. Okay. Upper limit minus lower limit. Now omega cancel. So we have minus I0 by pi into cos pi minus cos 0. Minus I0 by pi. Now we all know that the value of cos pi is minus 1. So minus 1 again minus 1. Cos 0 is 1. Okay. So minus 1 minus 2. Again minus at the outside. So twice I0 by pi. If we put the value of pi, that is 22 by 7 or 3.14, we will get the value 0.64 I0. It becomes in the form of 0.6. Okay. Or 5, 3. Okay. 3. 35, 0.635 like this. So closest value 0.64, or we may write like this, very close, very near equal, instead of equal sign. So 0.64 I0. So the mean or average value of alternating current is twice I0 by pi equals to 0.64 I0. It is very important. You need to remember it. Okay. So now it is for first half cycle, as I told. Since this is plus for first half cycle, for first half rotation. Obviously, for second half cycle, that's the next cycle. Obviously, it will be magnitude will be same, but it will be in opposite direction. So that's why value is minus. So that's why for full half cycle, this plus this will be 0. Clear. So now find out the next value, that is root mean square value, RMS value. Now for full cycle. Now since it is not average value, this is root mean square for the full cycle. Now what is its meaning? Very slowly, steadily taking time. If you read one by one, it can be clearly understood. Though it looks very complicated through its big name, isn't it? Its lengthy name. Root mean square. What is it? Think slowly. Okay. Root mean square. It means root over square root over of square root of which? Average. Whose average? Square. Now you can see through the symbol. Square root. Whose square root? Average or mean value of I square. Very easy. So first of all, what do we need to get the RMS value of alternating current? One by one. Three. Here there are three factors. At first we will find out I square, then its average or mean value, then overall its root, square root. Very easy. So now, first we will find out the average value of I square over full cycle. It was average value of I. Average value of I here, it was I, that is alternating current. But here it is I square. Average value of I square over full cycle. How is it denoted? I square, then its average. Average is indicated, always there is a bar over its average. Now 1 by t. Why not 1 by t by 2? Since t by 2 for half cycle, now since it is full cycle, that is t. 0 to t, I square dt. Since it's square, so I square dt. Remember, first average of I square we will find out, then its square root, it will be RMS value. So again, putting the value of t is equal to 2 pi by omega, so omega by 2 pi, limit 0 to t 2 pi by omega, putting the value of the current on the equation of alternating current, that is I is equal to I0 sine omega t, we saw in the last video. So I0 square sine square omega t dt, very easy, then plain integration. Then omega I0 square is the constant, so I0 square 2 pi. Indicating factor is sine square omega t dt. Okay, now omega I0 square 2i square. Now the integration, we cannot integrate sine square theta directly because it doesn't have any direct formula. Integration of sine theta we can do, isn't it? That is minus cos theta. Clear? But sine square theta d theta we cannot integrate directly. So that's why we have to take 1 half, then 2, isn't it? Half, then we will multiply by extra 2, because 2 to cancel, it will be same. So taking half at the outside, then multiply by 2. So 2 sine square theta d theta. Clear? Now omega I0 square 4 pi equals to, now there is a formula, 2 sine square theta. 2 sine square theta. What is 2 sine square theta? 1 minus cos 2 theta. Whereas 2 cos square theta equals to 1 plus cos 2 theta. Isn't it? Cos square theta is 1 plus cos 2 theta, but 2 sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta. Whereas theta is here, we will assume omega t theta. So 2 sine square theta is equal to 1 minus cos 2 theta into d theta. Now omega is equal to square by 4 pi. So now 2 integration. 1 into dt, that is integration of dt. Limit is same, 0 to 2 pi by 2. Then minus cos 2 theta d theta. Clear? So now omega is 0 square by 4 pi. Then integration of dt is t minus integration of cos 2 theta. So cos theta d theta. So where is cos theta? Integration of cos theta is sine theta, isn't it? We all know. So cos theta is equal to sine theta, but again twice omega t. So 2 omega is constant, divided by 2 omega, 0 by 2 pi by 2. Now we will just here, final work is to put the values, upper limit minus lower limit. So at first t, upper limit minus lower limit, 2 pi by omega minus 0. Okay, then minus. Then 1 by 2 omega, it will come out. Then we have only sine 2 omega t. In the place of t, we will place the value of, put the value of 2 pi by omega. So sine 2 omega into, at first t, 2 pi by omega minus sine 0. If we put 0 in case of t, 0. Okay. So now you can see omega is equal to 4 pi. This part minus 0, 2 pi by omega, whereas this part is totally 0. Why? Omega cancel. Sine 2 into 2 pi means sine 4 pi. Now the value of sine n pi is 0. Okay. Now sine pi, sine 4 pi, sine 6 pi, all these are 0. Okay. So that's why the entire part is 0. 0 into 1 by 2 omega 0. So this part is absolutely disappear. Clear? Okay. So now we have only this part. So omega I0 square divided by 4 pi into 2 pi by omega. Omega cancel, pi cancel 2. So only we have left I0 square by 2. Now this is the average value of I square. We have not completed the root mean square value because now square root is left. Now it's square root. So I RMS equals to square root of this. So that is root over I0 square by 2 is equal to I0 divided by root over 2. Okay, if we put the value of root 2, that is 1.414, then we will get 0.71 I0. So we have got the I RMS value is equal to I0 by root 2 equals to 0.71 I0. I0 is the peak value, I have already told. So we have already got the mean value, average or mean value for half cycle and RMS or root mean square value of alternating current. These are very important. So what is the RMS current? Generally the current we use in our household circuit or the voltage. Now since this is I or IM, IRMS, now in case of voltage value is the same. Now V instead of I bar is equal to V bar, Vn is equal to 0.64 V0, whereas Vrms equals to V0 by root 2, 0.71 V0. IRMS, Vrms is the same. I is for current, V is for voltage. So whether it is Vrms or IRMS in our household, we generally use. Generally current is measured by ammeter and generally voltmeter shows the reading of voltmeter. So the current and the voltage we generally see through the ammeter and voltmeter. All these are generally displays its RMS value. Clear? All these are RMS value. Since 5 ampere, so suppose the current is 5 ampere, it means its RMS value is 5 ampere. It's not the mean value. Suppose current is 220 volt or 2 volt, which is measured by any voltmeter. It means it expresses its RMS value. That is Vrms is 220 volt or 2 volt or 200 volt. So now we have two values, isn't it? It's IRMS and I0. What is I0? It's peak value, it's maximum value, isn't it? So now from this we can find out the peak voltage or peak current. Now, so Vrms is equal to V0 by root 2 is equal to 220 volt, as I said. The voltage which we use in our household voltage, household current is Vrms. That is 220 volt. It's called Vrms. But there is a peak voltage. So peak voltage V0 is equal to Vrms into root 2. If we multiply with 1.414, 311 voltage. Now this is the question arises. The Vrms voltage is 220, but what is the peak value? Maximum is 3111. So there is a very common question. So between AC and DC, which is more dangerous? Okay. The question is AC is more dangerous than DC. You can get a fatal shock from AC rather than DC. Why? Now suppose the VDC is 220 volt. It has no peak value. Vrms DC or the peak value of in case of VDC both are same 220. It cannot be increased. But in case of AC voltage, Vrms is 220. But in case of peak voltage, we can get by multiplying with root 2, 311 voltage. So Vrms AC voltage, whereas is 220 volt, but its peak value is slightly more than that. That is 311 volt. So in case of 220 volt, so in case of DC, if the DC voltage is 220 volt, we can get shock only by 220 volt. But if we touch the AC voltage in case of 220 volt, we can get shock from voltage 311 volt. Okay, that is almost 100 volt more. Okay, so that's why AC voltage is more dangerous than that of DC. Clear?